you and your dad.
Yes.
You talk about, the influence and the role Dad had in your life.
Well, my dad worked in radio and television. My dad was he was a TV announcer when I was born. And you say, oh, TV announcer. And next it'll be, no, that wasn't a TV announcer. TV announcer was the person who read the ads live on the air and did all sorts of fun stuff, but was a very integral part. And next you'll be watching Dialing for Dollars. So he was an announcer and a cameraman. They had the camera with 3 lenses on it. And then he was the weatherman, and he was the host of the Popeye Show.
The Popeye Show, my gosh.
And that's in Binghamton, New York, until he had a laughing fit doing the weather one night. They did this thing where this guy got behind him and he put his hands, and they were doing 4-handed weather, and my father fell on the floor laughing, and he got fired the next day.
Oh my gosh.
And he moved to New York to be an actor, which was his dream, and it didn't go anywhere, but he found a job open at WNEW Radio as a news writer. And he got hired to be news writer, where he got promoted to news director, and the assistant news director is named Marlene Tubin. Marlene Tubin.
Yes.
Right. So Jeffrey's mother, who should have been the news director. She had way more experience than my father did, and she was one of the early pioneers, female news pioneers. She should have been. But anyway, they were friends, and the family were friends, and we got together a lot. So he went from WNEW to starting a radio consultancy firm, where he would tell radio stations how to be better. And from that, he bought a radio station in Massachusetts. And so I grew up at the radio station, and I actually sold ads. I was a DJ. I did news. I wrote ad copy. So I did all that, and I watched him work. And brilliant writer. After that, he moved to San Francisco, and he managed a radio station, and then got hired to do TV when he was in his late 50s. So he had a magazine show and a travel show, actually, called Bay Area Backroads.
It seems like he was a sizable influence in who you've become.
Yeah.
Now, Mom is no slouch either.
Yeah, Mom was a traditional. Mom got married when she was 18. I was born when she was 19, and she was a traditional mom. And then went to New York, and the women's movement came up, and she went through all that. And by the time we hit the 70s, they split up, and she just wanted to find herself, and opened up a store and started knitting professionally, and started selling sweaters. Now she's moved to LA, selling sweaters to Rhoda. Remember that TV show?
Yes.
And she did the original sweater for Freddy Krueger.
Oh, that sweater haunts my nightmare. Yes. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You've been holding out on me, I know.
Oh yeah, well, you go read any of the articles I've written about her, because she's gotten her press.
And Mom has her hand in technology too. You introduced her.
She started a YouTube channel called Knitting Tips by Judy, and did very well. I don't know how it's doing now, but it was doing really well, bringing in about $10,000 a year, which is great.
Bad at all.
Yeah, and
Did you get her started?
I did. Yeah. I think she's still making videos about once a week.
Very nice. And you've also introduced your wife into the YouTube.
Well, no, she's a blogger.
I'm sorry, that's right. Your son is on YouTube.
Ruth is a food blogger, has a blog called Ruth Talks Food. My son is on YouTube. He actually had the best success. He has 200,000 subscribers to a cartoon channel called Hey Sam Graham that is self-sustaining. And he lives off the money, even without doing new cartoons. He gets money every month, which is pretty great.